SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in diaspora and at home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Yes, hello, good day, viewers. Good day to you wherever you are. My name is Mark Godin, and we're here on our Wednesday SSM news updates. Joining me from Lagos, Nigeria is Ogbeni Olayinka Raji for Wednesday updates. Raji, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Greetings to our viewers across the world. Welcome to our Wednesday program, Global Africa.
Yes, greetings to you too. Hope it's going well, even with all the situations there. I hope you're pulling through, maneuvering, and how is it?
While one is alive, one should live. And tough times make stronger people. Yes.
That's it. All right, Raji, one is alive, but some people are not alive right now, Raji. And that's coming again from the same place that it happened last 2 weeks. Jos Plateau State, Middle Belt, Nigeria is going through another senseless killing, Raji. There is anguish, there's weeping as a community, I think that local government is called, where is that again? Somewhere in between Bassa local government and Ziki community. A lot of people have died. There was attack. 51 people were buried yesterday on this fresh attack. Victims were gunned down for no reason, senseless reason, early Monday morning when some perpetrators entered into a village and started shooting at them, leading to scores of deaths. Raji, the videos, viewers, let's warn that the videos are too graphic. So we're not putting them out as we got them. We're just doing some little snippets of what we have. Raji, what will you say of this terrible thing in Plateau?
No, I'm not sure that we have a government. I'm not sure. A government that cannot even guarantee, both from the local government, the state government, and the federal government. I'm not sure there's any government in all those three locations. Otherwise, this thing shouldn't be happening, and it is happening across the country. And it is perpetrated by mostly, I'm almost sure that it's perpetrated by mostly alien Fulani people who are brought in by our politicians to destabilize the whole country. And then as we speak, I could assure you that more than 30% of the landmass of Plateau State has been taken over by alien marauders who have come in unhindered, who are even being supported by the government up to the highest level. There's no way. Yes, there's no way that this killing can go on. It's not just today. It's been on for more than 5 years. Gradually, they are rolling back. They are rolling off the indigenous peoples whose homelands and farmlands have been taken over. And these people are settling in these areas and renaming the places in their own language. They are aliens. Most of those people who have been displaced from these lands have been forced into IDP camps. And we have IDP camps for more than 5-6 years now. It is unquestionable. It is unquestionable that we should still be having IDP camps today. It is a failure of government that every day across the whole country we are having invasions of aliens into Nigeria who are displacing the indigenous people from their homelands.
Okay, Raji, this was really said well. It's a sad case, Raji. It's a very, very sad case. Viewers, if you're tuning in with us, if you're watching, this is what is happening. And before we move further, let's bring in BD Nana from Lagos, Nigeria, to also add to this. BD, good to have you. Can you hear us, BD?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good morning, Massive Mike. Saraji, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good morning, delectable BD.
Good morning.
Yes,
thanks for having us again today.
Good. BD, you came right on time. We are talking about the very ugly situation in Plateau State. Again, 51 victims killed early morning Monday when perpetrators stormed into their village and started shooting, leading to scores of deaths. We earlier warned that we don't want to put the videos as it is here, but it's very disheartening. BD, is that not so? What will you say of this thing again in Plateau?
It's really, really disheartening. And this has actually come to prove to what a lot of Nigerians saying, that lives of some Nigerians matter than the lives of others. Yes, why I said it, we all were here when the 16th were burnt in Urom in Edo State. We know the sweet turn that our government took. The senators gathered. Edo State governor traveled down to Kanu, Sokoto, to apologize to them. And there was a committee that was set up to investigate. Within 2 days, 13 people were arrested who did that evil deed in Urom in Edo State. Government stood up, they did what they're supposed to do. But over 100 people have been killed in Plateau State. What are we getting from our leaders? Nothing. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's making any statement. As if what is being killed in Plateau State are not human beings. What are we having in our hands now? Our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, traveled in midst of such situation. Now, some elder statesmen are calling him to return back to Nigeria and do something. Your citizens are dying and you're on trip. Whatever
it's
trip is, they
yeah, whatever.
What are you going to discuss, talk, when actually there are people that their life matters to? There are people that when you touch, and who are those people? It's Fulanis. I think it's high time we start making saying this thing the way it is. When anybody touches the life of Fulanis, the government stands up. The government speaks. They do what they
Yes. Okay. BD,
supposed to do.
Thank you.
But when it comes to other people, it's high time Nigerians stand up and take laws into their hands. I am telling you. Because the Plateau State governor has said that they should defend themselves. Now, there are allegations flying around. The victim said that the DSS, the police are even aiding these herdsmen. Yes, they said it. that the police and DSS are helping these herdsmen perpetrate this evil thing in their land. And Nigerians are keeping quiet. If this thing has happened in the international world, all the social media status, this thing, they will carry it. Nigerians are keeping quiet. And you know why I'm saying this? It did not start with Plateau. It started with other people. Do you understand? And each time things like this happen, we Nigerians will keep quiet as if it doesn't concern us. But gradually it's getting to all of us. Look at what is happening in Akure. And government has not said anything. I think it's high time Nigerians stand up and do these things their own way, because the government is not ready to protect or to help anybody. The DSS DG said it, that Nigerians should defend themselves, that they should come together and defend themselves, because government cannot help them. If they are waiting for police, army, or DSS to protect them, they can't do that. That Nigerians should stand up and protect themselves. And when Nigerians stand up to protect themselves, government is coming to blame them. I think we should wake up, or else these people will unalive all of us.
We should wake up, or they'll do more damage than they've done. It's a very terrible thing. What people are saying, as of this morning, some of the people we spoke to behind the scene, they are blaming the government, really. Raji, the state governor, Caleb Mafuwang, and his team, they are not. I don't think they are doing enough. The carnage of what we saw shows that government doesn't even have anything to do in terms of security. You know, when they say government, Raji, it's the first priority of every government is to provide security to its citizen. Raji, do you agree? Tell us.
Of course, that is it. But do you recall that almost every other Nigerian has been disarmed, except the Fulani herdsmen, who now carry AK-47, which is more sophisticated than most of the armaments that the Nigerian army, the Nigerian police even carry.
Let's bring in Fiona. Raji, hold tight there. What you're saying is crucial. But let Fiona also add to this. Beautiful. Fiona, it's good to see you.
Hello.
Welcome to Wednesday, SSM Global Africa.
Hey, BD, Saraji.
How are you?
Mark.
Good to have
Fine,
you.
thank you. Sorry, I was joining late. I just had to come out of a meeting.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Yes. Yes, you're at the right spot. Raji is saying something. Raji, go ahead. So
yes.
Go ahead.
During Buhari's time, there was a general disarming of almost every other Nigerian except the Fulani herdsmen. And they carry AK-47, which is more sophisticated than the Nigerian army has. So now you can see almost illiterate, uneducated Fulani herdsmen carrying an AK-47, even in the presence of the governor of the state. Even the president of the governor of the state.
Even in the presence of the governor of the state. And
negotiation.
Yesterday, the custom, well, we'll come to that anyway. Fiona, it's the sad situation in Plateau State again. Fresh killing. We don't want to bring all the graphics we have. They are too gory to show to our viewers. But yesterday, we saw 51 people buried again in fresh attack in Plateau State. And people are saying the government is not doing enough. There's failure on the part of the government to secure the lives and the property of the people of Plateau. Fiona, are you following that story? What do you have on that? What do you have?
I am, and I'm also slightly distressed that this is still going on in Plateau State. It didn't start yesterday. This is genocide. So we have a nation state, and within our state we have killings like this going on, where armed men will come into a town and literally, wipe the town out. And nothing really seems, from the outside looking in, I can't really see what the concerted efforts are to bring this to arrest this situation and change the narrative. I was reading about this, and I understand that over the last 20 years or so, over 50, I think I sent the clip to you, I think We've lost over 50,000 lives. That's a small town. I can't understand how people are being killed like this on a regular, and it's like it happens and everybody just gets back to business the next day. It's quite concerning, to be honest. It's quite concerning.
Quite concerning, Fiona. Yes, that town, BD, that Bassa local government area of Plateau, Bassa has been seeing these things repeatedly. The other time it was a community, that same Bassa local government, and this time it's the Ziggy. It's called Ziki local government, Ziki community, and blood keep flowing. Now, gentlemen, let's say something loud and clear. Is our government doing enough? Do we have
that Bassa and the environs have a lot of deposit of natural mineral resources, gold in quantum there, and that is actually the target of this herdsmen or these terrorists. And as of now, we have understood what is actually going on in Nigeria. You know, when we say it here, people say, oh, why are you saying that? What is happening? Do you understand? They have a lot of mineral resources there. So their intention is to displace these people and take over those communities. And it has been happening over the years. Because if you say the pattern at which these things has been happening, these people, they will strike. And Nigerian government will not say anything. They will not do anything. The citizens, they will run away. You know, it's so appalling, also heartbreaking that a Nigerian will be living in his own state in IDP camp. So when they displace them, they will run away. Within 2 weeks, go to that same village. They have heavy machine extracting those golds with Nigerian army and police guiding them. Do you understand? You displace the people, they run away. After some weeks, you go there, you see foreigners with heavy machines
in that community.
They have Nigerian military and army guiding them. Do you understand? And Nigerian government will come to lie to us. They don't know what is going on. Who are they telling that, and who are they expecting to believe them on that?
This is so apt of you, BD. Bassa has some deposits, Raji, but a lot of communities in Nigeria have such valuable deposits, mineral deposits. Do you have to kill the people to get this thing? I mean, there could be a truce with government and the people on how minerals could be extracted and used for their good and for the good of the country. Raji, do we have to kill people to what is in their life?
We have a group of very vicious, wicked, greedy people, and most of them are under the control of some Fulani emir or something. Okay. And it's a targeted and deliberate and intentioned move to displace the people from their lands, from their homelands, and for foreigners they are bringing to settle in there and even rename the location. Like BD said, and I've mentioned before, there's no reason why there should be IDP camps anywhere in the Nigeria at the moment. If you are in an IDP camp, you know where you came from. The government of the state should resettle them in their original homelands, the original farmlands, and then they should close down all the IDP camps. And if there are any people who have now been resettled on that land, then those people should be taken out and sent from wherever they came from, because they came from somewhere. Look, Plateau State is particularly under serious occupational territorial spread by these Fulani people. There's a local government in Plateau State, the Wase local government. It's a Fulani enclave. How did the Fulani come to Wase? And the former deputy president of the House of Reps came from that place. And when there was a group of people from overseas, from abroad, who wanted to bring the case to the Senate, he shut them down.
Yes,
There's no way.
it's actually in Benue, but neighboring town with Jos. You're good. You're correct on this. They shut them down because we wonder why. Diaspora Nigerian they only milk our cash. They don't want our voice. All right, gentlemen. Fiona, the governor is just there. He's called Caleb Mafunwan. He's just there. He doesn't seem to be doing much. This thing keep happening, and all he does is read some small solemn messages, and the next day something comes again, and that's in his domain. Do you think the governor should step up his game, Fiona? What do you say, Caleb?
I think to all intents and purposes, it's clear that he himself is he himself is under the cosh. He too is also being controlled and limited by greater powers than himself. I think it's clear from what Saraji and Bidi have just said that really there's more to all this than meets the eye, because it's okay as an external person to say, oh, they're just letting people kill people. But when you think about, when you follow the money, you will get to the root of the problem. So the people that are controlling it are larger than the presence of the state governor. That's what it means. If the state governor is not able to really step forth and say this is what's happening, then it means that the people in charge are greater than his own power. That's all it means. That's the simple down of that.
Views. That's the state governor there.
Exactly. What Fiona said. What Fiona said is 100% correct. See, a lot of all these governors, a lot of all these leaders, they are like handicapped in what is happening. And how did they get to this place? They got to this place because they initially have sold their conscience. That's why I always tell people, always learn to say the truth, because you don't know when it will get to your town. You understand? Now, can you imagine that an elder statesman, the former president of this country, Gowon, is from Plateau State. And all this while all this thing has been saying, he has not made a comment. He has not said anything. Today, Plateau State Governor came out. He was crying. He was begging his people. He was telling them that they have actually failed them, that they should forgive them. Now, my question is this: yes, we know you have failed them. They should forgive you. Is it to forgive you and allow them to continue killing them? But he said today, he said that Plateau should arise and defend themselves. Now, it's not the first time we are hearing this kind of statements. They will tell the people to defend themselves. Federal government will come and tell them no reprisal attack. Now, I don't understand this. They are killing me, and you're telling me not to take a reprisal attack, and you can't defend me, you can't protect me. I don't understand it.
Nobody understands this. Viewers, if you understand what's going on in Plateau, pin some comment. Let's hear what your thoughts. It's a sad day in that part of our country, central Nigeria, beautiful country. I've always said that. I lived in Jos Plateau a couple of times, but we keep having this incessant, senseless killing, innocent people being wiped away for no reason, and the government is actually failing in their part to take responsibility for the security of lives and property on those people, that area. Gentlemen, I want to thank you all for adding your voice. So we collectively in this network, we're calling out the federal government, we're calling out the Plateau State governor to step up. You can't be there. These people keep dying for no reason. Somebody comes into their village and kill them all. This is sad. This is terrible. So we want the government to do something. We'll come up to do something. Gentlemen, let's move on. Even though some of us said we don't know where he is, we don't know what he's doing there in France, but Tinubu media people said on Sunday he had some strong meeting in France with Trump's African advisor. Is also in Paris on some engagement with Nigeria. So what we heard is they are discussing on how to deepening strategies to more stronger cooperation with Nigeria and United States. We're trying to bring some clips on that. So BD, Do you think something could come out of this? That's our president and the advisor to Donald Trump's administration on security and every other thing. So that's a man called Masad Boulos. Masad Boulos lived in Nigeria, so he has some kind of relationship with the Nigerian government. So he was in France with Tinubu on Sunday, and they were talking how to strategize and deepening their relationship. Do you think something can come out of this, BD? Nigeria and the United States cooperation through the minister and Bola Tinubu?
What could come out from this? We all know what the world is facing. So I don't think anything different from what we already have will come out from it. We know where the world is facing, the Trump tariff saga with China, and that is the whole world is faced with. With this relationship, it's just for media interest. I don't think anything different will come out from it. Do you understand? I don't think anything different will come out of it, because if we want,
Okay, I think we lost Didi there. Anyway, Fiona, I hope you are there. Yeah, we lost. Right. Yeah.
I'm back.
Our president is far away in France, having engagements with government officials, and like we heard, what can you make sense of that? I mean, out in the country, do
well for me. I think for me, first of all, just thinking about the track record of what's happened in the American government since January. I don't really know where they're going with this, but as I said previously, if you follow the money, then the understanding will come. The only reason I can imagine that there's any fraternization happening between America and Nigeria is because there's going to be some added advantage for America over Nigeria. That's the only thing that I can see as a layperson. That's the only thing I can envision, that there's something that America sees that they can gain from that alliance. Because if we look at what's been happening over the last nearly 4 months now, so I was actually surprised when I thought, oh, maybe it wasn't true. And then I thought, if we follow the money properly, we will understand what the interest is in Nigeria, because he has been quite vocal in the past about what he thinks about Nigeria. So what has changed? Nothing has changed. The country is not any better than it was when he said what he said. So what is the difference? What makes this country special at the moment? So obviously there's the tariff wars are going on. So maybe he's looking at that, because Nigeria is a country that's blessed, it's rich in so many things. Maybe he's looking at that as an avenue to mitigate against some of the other things that are happening. I mean, who knows? But if we follow the money, we will get to the understanding.
We'll follow the money, Raji. Does that sound like what you said too?
Perhaps we should also recall that America is building its largest diplomatic area at the Eco-Atlantic. And who is in charge of Eco-Atlantic? It's between Shagori and who is a business partner of our president. There's a lot of, like Fiona is saying, there's a lot of money involved. And 5 acres of Eco-Atlantic land is a lot of billions of naira. So there's something that's happening that is hidden from us. It's all business.
Yes, that's it.
I agree. Something hidden from anyway. Speedy.
That you see that massive Mark. You see that France. Do you see that France visit with Tinubu and US advisor is all for Tinubu personal business. It's not for Nigerians. Yes. Now, yes. I want to look at it in a different way. This man is a USA advisor based in Nigeria. And Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. With all the money we have wasted in accommodation building, why would they leave Nigeria? going to France to meet, and you feel they'll be discussing for the interests of Nigeria. The discussion is for Tinubu business. Tinubu is a businessman, like Sir Rajiv said. So whatever they're discussing is for his personal business interests.
Okay, but let me make small correction there. Yes, the man is American. He's actually Trump's pick for Africa advisor to America, but he's not based in Nigeria now. He once lived in Nigeria a long time ago. I remember he's also Trump's in-law. The son is married to Trump's daughter. So Masad Boulos is his name. What they said, the leaflet we got was they were discussing deepening strategic cooperation between both countries, and that was on Sunday. And they said also looking into growing the ECOWAS and some other issues around robust economy, security partnership, and all that stuff. So, well, let's see what happens. But mainly, what I would say is, why receive him in France? Why are we doing? Why? When did we start having proxy presidential office? We will now have a presidential office in France. That's interesting. Okay.
But Mike, that's our way, isn't it? Nobody will ever answer this question that you've asked. We will never know the real because the real understanding is not about the Nigerian people. So the real understanding we will never know, because it's not about us. It's not about us. It's personal. It's not about us.
It's not about us. This is sad. On top of what is happening in Jos, on top of what is happening in Edo, Romi, Benue, everywhere boiling up, communal clashes, headsmen attacking, and there's a presidential outreach in France. Gentlemen, thank you. We still have small things to talk about before we go on a small break. Let's look at there's an update that just flew in. This one has nothing to do with Africa, actually. It's the news coming from United States. There's a shootout in Dallas, Texas. And it says 3 people have been shot, 15 to 18-year-old students. And it also says some people were injured. This happened on Tuesday, midday Tuesday, Dallas, Texas. The American gun violence will continue. Is that also, Raji? It will always be. I mean, is that anybody? Fiona, gun violence in America.
Well, I mean, the thing is, the Americans will always talk about their constitutional right to bear arms. So no matter how much we do, the NRA, the Rifle Association, is one of the largest, strongest lobbies in America. So that's true. It's what it is. So this thing about gun violence and gun in America, I don't know what the thing will be that will change it. We've heard president after president after president come and sympathize and say, oh, you know, this shouldn't happen. But the next cycle, we have the exact same thing. They are too strong a lobby, and the right to bear arms in America is huge. If you go to a local grocery store, the equivalent of, say, I don't know, Ebano or ShopRite in America, you can, the guns on the wall, as in just there, that you can buy. I've walked into Walmart and I just thought, okay, these are actually real guns. So it's there, and that's their constitutional right. So and to change that, I think is going to be something that is, and maybe not in our generation. So while that is still going on, and while mental health issues, people who are obsessive, schizoid, or any other name you want to add into the fray, while people like that still have easy access to arms and ammunition, is anybody's game. I have cousins that live in Texas, and we have this conversation once every 6 months about how scared they feel when the children go out to school. So I'm just sad to hear that there's been yet another shooting in another
shooting in Dallas, Texas. Viewers, gentlemen, hold tight.
Sorry. As the diction goes, it's not guns that kill people. It's people that kill people. So they don't blame the guns.
Fair enough.
Okay,
See,
people that came. Gentlemen, let's go on the break.
The openness is okay.
Yes.
What Fiona said is true. How people can easily access this gun and mental programming is another thing. Because for a student to just walk into a school and open shooting to people, and now the security saying that they've not been able to apprehend them. So it has a lot to do with the mindset, the programming, and how easily people can access this gun. That's the major two things I think the government should look into.
Accessibility of guns. Okay. Viewers, you are tuned into SSM Wednesday African Update, and I'm here with these great gentlemen and ladies, Fiona from the UK, BD from Lagos, Nigeria, Raji from Lagos, Nigeria. Let's go on a small break. We'll be back.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa. SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news, plus the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerian soul are proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
This country has some of the most extraordinary culinary diversity in the world. I'm talking about Nigeria. This first dish is amala abula, made popular by the Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria. It starts with amala made from dried yam and then is covered in a variety of soups. Next we have ofe and sala, a white soup that is synonymous with the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. It goes best with fufu, or akbo as the Igbos call it. Next we have suya, the most well-known food of the Hausa and Fulani people of northern Nigeria. Meat is covered in a peanut-based powder called yaji and cooked over an open fire. This is banga and starch, a classic of the Urhobo people of Delta State. Lastly, we have onunu, a plantain-based swallow of the Izon people in South Nigeria. We are eating it with fisherman soup, popular throughout this whole region. And of course, we don't forget the jollof rice. This is popular everywhere in Nigeria. I think what makes Nigeria so great is the diversity of all the different people coming together. These beautiful ethnic groups living side by side, sharing culture and cuisine is what makes Nigeria such an amazing country to visit. Nigerians should be so proud of that cultural heritage, as there is so much more that unites than divides them.
Yes, viewers, you are tuned back to SSM Wednesday African Update. Gentlemen, yeah. I hope there's background noise there. Okay. Let's come to some other news. Somebody is speaking, and that's our former president, Obasanjo, Olusegun Obasanjo, said something yesterday. He said Nigerians have no business being poor. He said leadership is the country's main problem. Gentlemen, that's Olusegun Obasanjo saying this. He gave this utterance loud to the press. He said Nigeria's problem is leadership. Despite the vast resources and the abundant blessings that we have, people are suffering. And but gentlemen, let's take note that this man was one time president too.
Not one time, twice.
Twice. What did he do? Even twice, because he was also a military president. What did he do towards this? Let's hear from Fiona. Fiona, Obasanjo has spoken.
Yeah. So I mean, so I'm going to set aside the fact that he has been the president in the past. I'm going to set that aside for now. I just want to address what he said about the fact that, of a truth, we actually have no business being poor. But if we look at it, if we look deeply, Nigeria is not poor. Yeah. Probably 95% of the population is poor because 5% of the population are sharing all the wealth amongst themselves. But Nigeria is not poor. Let's be correct. Nigeria is not poor. We have a lot of poor people in Nigeria because the powers that be are not, they're quite selfish. Everything is about self-aggrandizement, about selfishness, about wealth acquisition. That's how even the young boys coming up now, when you think about all these things about ritual killing and all that, all it is about money. I always say, if you follow the money. So the problem is not that. Nigeria is blessed beyond measure, blessed beyond, I will say, beyond any country that I've really visited. I've been fortunate to visit a lot of countries, and they might have fantastic exterior, they might have fantastic road network, fantastic this, and but if you go deep down and look at natural resources, and look at climate, and look at culture, look at tradition, look at food, Nigeria is rich in not just one area, but in a multitude of areas. So we have no business being poor. We actually have we shouldn't even be near poverty. We shouldn't even be discussing it. So definitely the leadership has a big a point to play in it, but also the way the people think about money and wealth and sharing. If you go to the Middle East, the lowliest person in the Middle East is able to achieve any basic standard of living because that's how the state is structured. So they make sure that they take care of their people. You know, obviously I can't compare because obviously Nigeria is 200 and something million people, but this is the thing. We don't have a structure that would cater for the people. The structure is completely eroded and doesn't work. So until that structure works, we are not going to be able to pick people up out of poverty. We don't have a social service system. We don't have anything. The health system is in a state. So we don't have anything to really mitigate against. I don't expect everybody to be wealthy, but at least for us to be able to achieve a certain standard of living, we don't really have anything to balance or mitigate any of those things. So it's not that Nigeria is poor. Nigeria is not poor. The management of Nigeria has failed. And that's why we have poverty.
Yes, Raji, Fiona has broken down. But Fiona, I would say that considering what you call value to life, people's value to life, I mean, somehow we are poor. Because first of all, life has no value in Nigeria.
Yes, but that has happened because of the system. It's because of the system. It's not because Nigerians are actually if you really spend a lot of time, Nigerians are actually really very nice people at the core. The problem is the system has frustrated us to the point that we can't even be nice. We can't. Where's the capacity to be nice when you're trying to feed yourself, when you're trying to pay for your business?
Let's hear. Fiona is very passionate about this topic now. Well, Raji, just go ahead and video will come in. Raji, tell us.
Yes.
Obasanjo said
let Fiona mentioned structure. No, all those places you mentioned, they are essentially nations. Nigeria still has a nationality issue. Until we transmit from being just a mere geographic expression, I don't see Nigeria moving forward. There'll be a lot of motion and very little movement. We are moving in all that there's motion in all directions, but there's no movement towards progress. Until we have that, we're trying to be nationalistic in the First Republic when we had regions, and each region concentrated on itself. Each region was actually more or less like a nation. But by 1962, May 29th, 1962, when the state of emergency was declared in the Western region, the very structure of our nationhood was destroyed. And from that moment, Nigeria has just been bumbling from one silliness to another silliness. We are now 60 years old moron, just existing.
Okay. BD, I want us to go off the context of what the former president was saying. Olusegun Obasanjo was also pinpointing the fact that leadership is a problem. So he's urging Nigerians to come out when next there's election, come vote for the right leader. But do you really think it's about leadership or the fabrics of existence inside Nigeria? Is it you think the former president is saying the right right words? Is he?
Please, before I answer your question, allow me to come from somewhere, please.
Okay.
You see, the problem with Nigerian have is this: we like cracking ourselves down. You see, the reason we do election is to change leadership for a better person, for a better thing, for improvement. That's not why we do election. Because if the person in power is doing well, we'll probably allow the person to remain there. But we keep changing leaders because we want to get the best out of people, out of our leaders. Now, you know why I say this now? What Olusegun Obasanjo said is 180% correct. But in our attitude, in our manner, in the way we do things as Nigerians, we will always go after him. And the way we go after him, were you not once a president of this country? What did you do? We like cracking down on people. We like suppressing people. We use the word censorship. And what is word censorship? Is silencing people. Do you understand? We take what we want and allow what we don't want to be. So what Olusegun Obasanjo said has everything to do with leadership, like Fiona has said. We don't have leadership. And what is leadership? Is having a system. Nigeria is a country where system don't work, people work. It's all about people. We don't have system. Because if we have system, with you or without you, things will go on well. I was discussing with people yesterday. I have seen a lot of my friends who have companies, who have business going down and going well for them. They will sell it and jabber out of this country. They are not selling it because they can't afford to feed their family or eat, but because they know there is no system in this country. Nigeria is a country where you will be a rich man today. By next year, somebody will see you be begging for bread. I'm not telling you fallacy. I'm telling you what I've experienced. Do you understand? Nigeria is a country where a poor man tomorrow can become a rich man to next tomorrow without a process, without telling you, oh, this is how I did it, this is how I did it. Because we don't have system. And why is it that we don't have system? Because of lack of good leadership. So everything boils down on leadership. Nigeria have resources. What is killing our people in Zamfara Plateau is our resources. That is why our people are dying. We have a lot of resources. But those things has been hijacked by like 10% of Nigerians. 90% are suffering. They are in abject poverty. They are dying. They can't even afford common health care. Nigerians are no longer asking for 3 square meals. We are asking for 2 square meals. People are dying, malnutrition. I'm not telling you what I don't know, what I see in paper. I'm telling you what I know. I am on the streets. I relate with people. I know what people go through every day on a daily basis. Just between January till now, I've counted 7 people that fell down in the street of Nigeria and died. 4 of them are women, 3 are men. Do you understand? So it has everything to do with bad leadership. It is the leaders, and they like it like that. They want it like that. They want it to remain like that. It's all about them. And I'm no longer angry with them because they have made it, but I'm angry with us, the Nigerians, who have not understood what these people are doing, who don't want to stand up and speak for themselves and take over their country. But when Obasanjo said this, instead of them to say, oh, what this man is saying is truth, they will attack him. You were there. What did you do? When was Obasanjo there? It was years. Obasanjo has gone. Yar'Adua has gone. Jonathan has gone. Buhari has gone. Do you understand? This man is telling you the truth. And you are attacking him instead of you to look at what he's saying and see how can we make it work. That's actually my major problem. The Nigerians, no longer the leaders now.
How can we make it work, gentlemen? Yes, but he made, because he was speaking at the Abia State Government House, and he also gave some kudos to the Abia governor Abia Governor Alex Oti. He said he's transforming the state. He's doing some great things there. So pinpointing on leadership is what he was looking at, but it's broader than that. We all agree. Fiona has said her part. We agree that it's more than just the leadership, the people too, the system, the fabrics of what makes Nigeria needs to be overhauled. It needs to transform. Gentlemen, let's come to part of the system we're talking about. In faraway Ondo State is southwest Nigeria. They just uncovered illegal bunkering. Can you imagine illegal bunkering? That's illegal oil refining sites in Ondo State. And these are some of those things that sabotage our economy. Raji, you are close to Ondo, you're Oshuman. Now, a state close to you is making big chunk of money from illegal bunkering, and then we are looking for those people in charge. Raji, can you help us catch some of them?
Nigeria is such an interesting country. There are two laws for those in the south and for those in the north.
No.
If a kidnapper is arrested in the south, he goes to the police arrest him and they prosecute him. Kidnappers and bandits are negotiating with government in the north so that some governments are even paying them to stop kidnapping and killing their people. So there are two things. You are talking about bunkering. You know the amount of illegal mining that is going on across the north, for which a lot of people have been displaced, and there's nothing that's being said about it. I mentioned before that rather than disrupting all these so-called illegal bunkering things, why don't you find a way to regularize it? So that there was a time when more than 50% of the petrol used in Port Harcourt in Rivers State was from illegal bunkering, refined from illegal bunkering. So people are not even bothered. Yeah. Rather than do persecuting them the way we are going about it viciously, let us find a way to regularize it so that until this country gets to where the same rule is applied across board. I don't see anything wrong with illegal bunkering at the moment. No, I don't.
If it's regularized. Fiona, yes, you want to say something?
Well, I mean, I think Bidi has said as much, and so I'm just going to probably reiterate what this operation, this illegal operation that was going on, is not a mother and her baby that have created it. There's something bigger than that at play. 50,000 liters of crude oil is not something that happened by accident. That's not an accident, and that's not a little boy in a garage. That's a major thing that's going on right there. So again, if we get to the crux of the matter, we'll find some big boy who is behind it. That's what will happen. That's what I feel. So, I mean, we can say all these things. He probably hasn't given the right people the right money. That's why it's all been uncovered or whatever. So for me, I'm not, I just feel that it's just one of those things that have happened. There will be lots of other illegal bunkering that's going on that nobody has stopped anybody from doing at the moment. Of course, these are ways that our resources are being, diverted from our GDP pockets. But, it is what it is. There's no structure. So, because what I would like to know is what happened to the 50,000 liters at that point? What is the next step? Because we always hear about this fantastic stuff where, we caught this, we've seen this. Then we don't hear anything again. It just goes into the thin air. We never have any follow-up. We never have any conclusion. They never catch anybody. They never anything. This is not the first time. It's not the second time. It's not the third time that they will find a big haul of something. And then we don't really, because there's no process. There's no process. There's no structure. So we can't, we just hear it and we say, and then it's the end of business. It's closed and we move on to something else. So,
it's closed and we move on to something else. BD, part of what could happen is sometimes the law enforcement agents, first responders will come, they will burn that place, destroy the ecosystem there, destroy the marine, the aquatic, everything will be destroyed, all in the process of covering up that act, you know? It's to cover that act because it's not really to stop that thing. So what do you think about this, BD, Undo and illegal bunkering?
What I think is all the lies they like to feed Nigerians with. There's nothing illegal about that. They claim to us that they discovered. Let me tell you.
Okay.
You see, in Ondo State, the richest person in Ondo State is an Oba, and he's an oil magnate. His name is Oba Frederick Oba Taru Oba. Yes, go and check it.
Obateru.
The richest man in Ondo is in Oba. Yes, Oba Frederick Oba Taru, something like that. I hope I pronounce it well. He's the Oba of in that kingdom. Now, I want to ask you a question. Can there be an illegal bunkering in a such state when the Oba is into that kind of business and they are not known? You see, what happened in this country is this. When one insider maybe has not been compensated well, or the thing did not go his own way, he will come out and make noise. And they'll come and write in the media, oh, illegal, oh, this, that. They'll come and do their aggrandizement, and it ends there. They'll continue with their businesses. And that's exactly what Fiona said earlier. Do you understand? It's about the people that feel they own this country. They control the resources of this country to the detriment of the average Nigerian on the street. So there's nothing illegal there. Because if it's illegal, it will not be going on in that state for years. And they've made that statement now. Give them 2-3 years. It still be there. So there's nothing illegal. It may be probably one person, there's a fallout between them and one other person.
Simple.
They brought it out.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, time is never our friend on SSM because we have so much to talk. You guys have so much to also share with the viewers. And viewers are here. Viewers, you're tuned in to the Wednesday African Update SSM. There is this small time. We have very little time, but there's an issue that we probably should have also discussed earlier. Something is happening in a faraway country in Africa. That's Sudan, one of Africa's most beautiful country. But Sudan presently is facing the worst humanitarian crisis as a result of 2-year war, civil war that has been going on in Sudan. Sudan is going through a lot now, a lot. The United Nations, NGOs are all shouting. Things are getting out of control in Sudan. Hunger has taken over the streets of Sudan. People are dying. But we can't talk about this because of time. Raji, please, Friday, you're there, International Man Update. Let's look into Sudan and the crisis. Sudan is on the radar. It's not doing well at all. For our viewers, Sudan is right there. That's that beautiful country that borders with Egypt at the north, borders with Eritrea at the east, and the Chad and South Sudan also by the south. Beautiful country, but as it is now, it has become a stateless country because of civil war. Everybody wants power. Everybody wants to be. Everybody. This tribe comes and says this. This one said no. It's that. No, this one. Oh, I mean, humanity. It's sad. All right. So, gentlemen, let me give you all time to say something. What we could have said, or anything you want to add to today's broadcast. Let's start with Fiona. Fiona, what do you have?
What do I have to say? I just want to thank everyone for joining us. And as Nigerians, I want to say let's try not to lose hope. And I wish everybody a pleasant festive season ahead.
Nice. Bidi.
Well, it's been wonderful. Yep. I should say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I know you said something. It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful having you people be with us today. We've done all we can. Remember, be nice to people out there. People are going through a lot. So see you next time. One love.
Thank you, Bidi. Raji, the man in the house.
Ditto to what the beautiful ladies have said. I'm with them 100%. But back to the bunkering thing. Bunkering is not a poor man's business. It's a big man's business. So there are big men behind that bunkering.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you all. Fiona from UK, BD, Lagos, Nigeria, Raji from Lagos. It's been beautiful. You guys have done marvelously well, putting out some good insight into all these issues. Till we come again on Friday. Yes, Fiona said it. It's festive season. This is Easter season. So, but we still run the network. Friday will be here, and probably we'll have a Easter weekend broadcast too. But until then, have a beautiful midweek. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current